What is going on, boys, lads, girls, if any? Today we'll be going over landing pages because landing pages, I preach this a lot because landing pages have done a lot for me, and I feel like a lot of people neglect them. But landing pages are incredibly important. So, this video, I'm not going to be showing you technically like how to build a landing page or really going into depth of certain types of landing pages. But what I will do is pretty much explain to you why they are important. So, hold on. I just realized my screen is messed up. There we go. I'll put myself up here now so you guys can see this a little bit better. But anyways, what is a landing page? A landing page is a page created to further educate a customer to push them further along the funnel after your initial creative. Right? These pages then lead to the offer that you are pitching your customers on your product, or commonly redirect to your product page, and pretty much thinking of just like you're just warming people up to buy your product instead of like shoving things in front of their face. It's like this is like the best analogy I can give is like, would you ask a girl to be your girlfriend after the first encounter? Like you just met them today, you can ask them the same day tomorrow. Like no, it's gonna be fucking weird. So don't do it to your customers because that's exactly what you're doing. All you're doing is they see an ad, and then they go to your page, product page, and then you're just yelling, "Fucking buy my product." That's literally what you're doing. So you don't really want to be doing this. In some cases, yes, this is exactly what you need to do. This is all you need to do. But in most majority cases, for most products, this is not ideal. So you don't want to be only doing this. That's why landing pages come in, right? So here's what most people do, right? Not this guy. This guy's pretty normal. I'm talking about this guy right here. Here's what most people do and what most people experience. They upload an ad. The customer sees a single ad. They click onto the ad. They see some fucking AliExpress images, shit offer, and just buy now, shove down their throat. They don't buy, and then this guy stays poor and just goes back to fucking working a 9 to 5, saying dropshipping failed. And then there's random fuckers like me online that end up making money and living the life that they want to live. And then, yeah, they just fucking, I don't know. There's this guy right here, dead ass. But anyways, or you could be, yeah, I'm gonna leave this up for interpretation. What the real motherfuckers do, bro. Fucking truth. Was it Stick of Truth? This guy, Mr. Cartman, if you guys know what I'm talking about, this guy's the GOAT, right? So what he does, he uploads multiple ads, tons of ads, right? Customers see a variety of ads across the funnel. So not only does the landing page actually sell, the funnel is going to be a variety of top funnel, middle funnel, bottom funnel ads, all the awareness stages. But he's going to have top funnel, middle funnel ads redirecting to landing pages to further educate customers and then getting them to buy. And then bottom funnel ads redirect to product page or maybe even a simple landing page. A simple landing page to build trust and then customers buy. Now, customers are primed up, they're hyped, and they're ready to buy. They pull out their credit card while you sit there with your fucking stick of truth, printing money in real fucking time. That's the goal, okay? That's what landing pages accomplish. Now, there's obviously more than just landing pages that go into all of this, but landing pages play a huge part. Now, I do want to address this before we continue down this beautiful funnel diagram I have here. So, people think, okay, common misbelief, all right? Misbelief. Let me actually type this out. Now this right here is what most people believe. Sir, will landing pages cause more friction and make people drop off from seeing your offer and ultimately leading them not to buy? This is terrible advice. Reported, scammer, guru, course seller, fuck this guy. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, first of all, this guy's a fucking retard, okay? I'm telling you that right now. This guy's fucking retarded. Because let me tell you, if you just say the right words, it doesn't matter. If you say the right words, people will read, okay? If people are not reading your landing page, and yes, of course, if you have a landing page, there's going to be a drop-off, okay? Out of all the people that see your ads, 100% of the people that see your ads, let's say 7% of them click. And this is a pretty good click-through rate, I would say. 7% click. So out of 100 people, 7 click. Now, they go to your landing page, right? Let's say 2 out of 7 read the whole page, okay? 2 out of 7 read the entire page, and then let's say out of 2, every like 1.5, or actually not like 2. Let's just say 1. 1 goes to your PDP product page, and then they buy. Out of every 100 people, this is an example, out of every 100 people, 1 person buys because of a landing page. Now, yes, 5 people dropped off and didn't read the page, right? Only 2 people read the page. But this 1 person goes and buys and places an order for $55 on your store, okay? That's 100 people seeing your ad. Okay. Now let's say out of 100 people, now let's say it's 1,000, 70 people. So now 20 people actually read the whole page, 10 people buy. Let's say you have a CPM of $60. And this is just random numbers I'm just throwing at you, but I just wanted you guys to understand. CPM of $60. Now 10 people buy. 10 people times 55, $550, right? Now $550 when it takes you $60 to get that many people to your landing page, that's a fucking insane, ROAS. Now, are you gonna get a whatever this is, like 9 point something ROAS? No, you're not gonna get a fucking 9+ ROAS. Probably not. Definitely not. But the point is, if you don't have the people that read this page, let's say 7 out of 7 go to your product page. Now they're on your product page. They see your offer, okay? But they don't know. They don't know why they need it, right? And if they don't know why they need it, then who cares? 0 people buy. 0 people buy, and you end up making $0. You are much better using this whole funnel to try and nail down one specific person and get them so bought in that they're ready to just hand you their money than trying to half convince 7 people. It is so much better that way. Okay, and I normally would come up with an analogy right now, but I don't have one. Or maybe I have one, but it might confuse you more. So I'm just going to leave the analogy, and I'm going to leave it at this. Okay, you are better off. It's like a funnel. If this is a funnel, it shouldn't look like this. Your funnel should go like this. Like, you're trying to target the people that get to here. Okay, primed people. If you are only targeting the people that go straight to your product page, you're trying to sell to like people that are like in this stage or in this thing, like this, this line. So I don't know if this is a good example, but not prime. Let's leave it at that. They're not fucking primed, and yeah, it's much harder to sell to them. Whereas if you can take them even further down the funnel and get them even more bought in, you're much better that way, where you entice people to buy a lot more. Anyways, back to the types of landing pages. I just want to clear that up because I know some fuckers are going to say that shit. Fuck off. Okay? Types of landing pages. There's list goals, advertorials, quizzes, offer pages, and you don't need more than these, so I won't even get into any of them, but like these are like the main ones. You don't really need to know about any others, right? You can do like specific pages if you want, but you don't need that shit. These are the main two, okay? List goals and advertorials. I wouldn't even worry about quizzes and offer pages. Like, this is like well after you're scaling. You're not going to use this for testing. You're not going to use this in initial stages. It's more for like, I would say quizzes is more for like data, if anything. Like, that's a big benefit of it. But anyways, I won't confuse you guys. 1 and 2, that's what we're focusing on, okay? Now, funnel breakdown. Where do you use each style of page? Well, we're only focusing on list goals and advertorials. So, I am going to show you 2 examples. All right, so this is an example of an advertorial, and this is an example of a list goal. So going through the advertorial briefly, I'm going to show you what this looks like. So the whole point of an advertorial is to make it look like it's just a regular page, right? It has nothing to do with the actual brand. It's more like kind of like a news article. That's the goal of it, right? Like, even as this, like home trending products, whatever, 3 weird signs of poor gut health and how to help with this breakthrough chew, right? And breaking this down, right? It's just text, right? You just look through this, and it's pretty long. It's pretty fucking long. Now this is inherently long, but normally advertorials will go a lot longer than this, and I've seen and made advertorials that are much longer than this. But it's also Pet Lab Co. Like, they're quite well known. But anyways, breaking this, right? It just breaks down. It just goes into the problems, the pain points, like licks, chooser paws, whatever. Like, these are all common things that people will see on their dog, right? And it just feeds them like, okay, this is why you're going to continue reading, because in this article you're going to discover exactly how to support it all in under 30 seconds a day. Like, wow, I can fix that? Holy shit, right? And then it just kind of like builds fear in them. And then education, right? This is where you actually educate them on what the problem is, what causes it, and then how to actually fix it, right? Now they would have already seen an ad that talks about a lot of this stuff. That's probably why this advertorial isn't that long or it's too informative. Although it is kind of informative, it could go much deeper. Um, but it's pretty much just reaffirming everything the ad has said or even teaching them something new, but kind of just taking this down. And now there's social proof, right? Science driven, so it's going over like kind of just like more proof, like science proof, clinical studies, all the shit, whatever it is, and just more and more education, right? And then now it just goes into social proof, right? So here, reviewed by vets, so authority figures, testimonials, more testimonials. These are CTAs that are going to lead you to the actual page. And now this is the product page, right? So this advertorial primes people up. Now, will there be a drop off on this page? Of course there will be. But the people that click through are so much more valuable than the people just coming onto this page by itself that it is better to prime up those people that are somewhat bought in, get them super bought in, than try and convert people that are like barely bought in the first place, if that makes sense. And then, yeah, just more testimonials, offer, and that's it. Okay, so that's an example of an advertorial. Now, a listicle. Listicles are much simpler. They don't need necessarily um, as much education. They're a lot more visual, a lot more straight to the point, but they have their own purpose, right? Like these are, for example, Fabulous. If you guys know this brand, this is like a very heavy. It's just like a gifting brand, right? People buy this stuff as gifts. No one really buys this shit for themselves. Now, 5 reasons eternal roses make the perfect gift for National Couples Day, right? And then just basic stuff, images. Here's a CTA button if you want to just go to their collections page, right, and start shopping. But if you don't want to click on this yet, then you can keep reading. Now, all these simple points, right? A picture, a headline, subtext. Roses that last for years, not days. These aren't your average flowers. Our preservation process ensures the roses stay beautiful for years, instead of just a few days like regular roses. So that's benefit number one. No watering or maintenance needed, right? Super simple to use. A gift that show love for years. Talking about like why would you be buying this product? You're going to buy this product because you want your significant other to feel good. So it's feeding into that. That's another benefit. And here is a CTA. You're not going to see a CTA on every single one because you're kind of like being a little too pushy. But hey, if you've read enough and you want to go check it out, go check it out. Here's some offers that you can shop if you'd like. Now there's more. It keeps going. Assembled by hands with premium roses. Just talking about like, the quality of it, kind of justifying the high price. Easy gifting for any occasion. This would probably just be like, use gift whenever, wherever, to whoever. Just know that it'll be a good gift. And then offer. Shop our bestsellers now, and then testimonials. Testimonials, FAQs. And yeah, this is a really good landing page, I would say. Now, for this, obviously it's a gifting angle. You're not going to need a advertorial. 3 breakthrough signs on why this gift is the best for your girlfriend. No, you don't need that shit. It depends on your product, right? But this is perfect for their product. It's absolutely perfect. It makes a lot of sense. Now, this page probably performs really well or has performed really well for them in the past. But, boom. Now you go here, buy the product. And then, yeah, simple pages. The product, like this product kind of sells itself, right? But looking back here, now that you guys have seen an example of what a listicle looks like and what an advertorial looks like, know that these pages are different. I'm going to write this here. Pages, sorry, why the pages are different for different niches. For example, what do I mean by this? If you're doing clothing, okay, not shapewear, not anything like crazy about the clothing, or like for example, like compression socks or shapewear, like this stuff, you don't need advertorials for that or anything like health related clothing wise. This could just be a listicle. A listicle if it's a specific type of clothing or trying to target a specific avatar, or just product page, because these products sell themselves. Okay, like don't go making an advertorial for a fucking dress. Don't be stupid. Okay, there's nothing to sell them on. If they like the dress, all they need to know is the features and the quality and the fact that other people have purchased it, testimonials, social proof, like that's all they need. So honestly, product page is probably the best. Product page, collections page, home page, but you could also do a listicle. A listicle could be viable if you're testing a specific avatar. Now, if you're doing something like health, right? Health, people want to make sure that there is a lot of quality in that product. So an advertorial is perfect, right? Because this educates them on the actual product, educates them on the problem, educates them on themselves, and then all the while builds trust in you, your brand, and gets them to ultimately purchase. Now, you can also do listicles, because listicles, if people have already been through parts of the funnel and they're more primed up, they might not need to read that much. You might be doing too much by sending them to an advertorial. So certain types of ads, which I will get into now, you will send to a listicle instead of an advertorial, right? But this is all stuff that you have to consciously think about when creating these pages for your product. So just understand why you're creating a specific page. Now this is going to make more sense because I'm going to break it down here. Top funnel ads, middle funnel ads, bottom funnel ads. This is the simplified version. Again, I'm not going to go into the full awareness stages because that would take longer to explain and it might just end up confusing you a bit more. But this is all you really need to know at the basic level. Top funnel ads, where would you send this? Okay, I'll actually give you a second. I want you to think. Where would you send top funnel ads? People that have not seen your product yet, or people that don't know they have a problem yet, or people that are just now learning about the problem, or just now learning about the solution. Where would you send them? The answer is advertorial. Okay, advertorial, and you could also send them to a listicle. You can send them to both. But generally speaking, if you're in a niche that requires more explanation, more trust building, and more diving into the actual problem itself, advertorials are going to be perfect. Like for me, my brand, my product, I send all of our top funnel ads to an advertorial. That's what works best for us. Okay. Now, middle funnel ads. Where would you send middle funnel ads? Okay. This is for people that probably they know of solutions and they might know of your product. Where would you send them? Oh, why did I count down like that, bro? My hand looks weird as fuck. Okay, timer's up. That's time's up. That was some fucking autism shit I just did with my hands. I don't know, but time's up. Anyways, where are you sending these? Listicle. Listicle is perfect for middle funnel ads because they already know about the problem. They already know what problem it solves. They just want to know that your problem or your product, your solution is better than the other solutions, and that your product is better than any other solution out there or any other brand that's selling the same product as you. Or like same ingredients, same features, same style of product, whatever. Listicle is perfect for middle funnel ads. Now, this could also technically be sent to the product page. This would have to be very specific scenarios where like the listicle just wouldn't make sense. But generally speaking, listicle is going to be your best bet. Okay. Now, bottom of funnel ads, I wouldn't give you time to think because if you think it's either of these, you're at, I don't know, everything I've said has just gone through the window. But this bottom of funnel ads, just send to your product page. Okay. If you have an ad that is literally designed like this, okay. Product, limited time offer, $70% off. Buy now. If this is your static image, okay, this is your static image, and then you're sending this to this page, God help you. I actually don't know what you're thinking because some people actually do this, believe it or not. Some people actually do this. And it's like, why? Like, you don't understand, like, you know that phrase where, like, you're just doing too much? Like, you are actually doing too much. Bro, these guys just want to fucking press buy. They just want to buy your product. Now you're going to make them read through this whole page? They're just going to get turned off. They don't want to fucking read this shit. They already know they want the product. So why would you send them to this page? You know? So, this bottom funnel ads will just go straight to the product page. And simple as that, right? Now, ending this off, how do I make these pages, right? There's gem pages, Replo, PageStack, Pagefly. There's probably other softwares out there that I might not have heard of or I didn't think of at the top of my head, but gem pages is what I use, it is what I'm used to, Not to say that any of these are bad. I know people that use PageDeck. I know people that use Replo. It's honestly just preference at the end of the day. Like they can all realistically accomplish the same thing. But why would I say Gem Pages for beginners? The pros is you can upload one page for free. So if you're testing a product and you want to make an advertorial or you want to make a listicle without having to pay, and you're trying to do that during your initial testing phase, you can do that. You can upload a page, right? And the plan itself is actually overall pretty cheap. It's $29 a month for the base one, and then later you might have to upgrade to the second tier, but you won't need more than that. So like I only pay $60 a month for Gem Pages on the plan that I'm on, which is kind of crazy because like a lot of other softwares I use are incredibly expensive. You know, um, like for example, Klaviyo, bro. Right now I'm spending like $1,000 a month on Klaviyo. Fucking George's for customer support, I'm spending like $500 a month on that. Like it's a good price. It's a good price. And compared to like Replo, like for example, Replo doesn't have like the one page free thing. I'm pretty sure, but I think you can build it out, but you have to buy to upload the page, some shit like that. But it's $100 a month compared to 29. So I don't know. I just prefer Gem Pages. Now the only con is like any other page builder, it takes a bit of time to actually understand the UI and all the features. But regardless, it's worth putting in the hours, right? After you put in like 20, 30 hours of building landing pages, right? Spend a couple days, build out landing pages. Like eventually, you're just going to get used to it. You're going to get better at it, and you'll get to a point where anytime you have an idea of what you want to create, like it'll just come to you. Like you'll just understand, like okay, I need to use this section. I have to use this. I have to use that. This is how I'm going to do it. This is how I'm going to color it. It kind of just all comes together. So it is a skill set in itself. Spend time because like on the actual application because it's going to benefit you ultimately in the future. It is time consuming. It is annoying. You're going to crash out. I crashed out. There's so many times I wanted to do a specific thing, but it wouldn't let me. But then eventually I found out how to do it. And also another bonus is I won't write it here, but their support team is incredibly good. Like if you ever need anything custom coded, you can like just hit them up. It's like, yo, I'm trying to create this. And give them the vision of what you're trying to create, or maybe an example from another brand's page, and they'll literally custom code it for you. They've done that for me so many times. So this is not like fucking sponsor. I don't have a code for you guys or anything. Like just I don't know. I just like Gem Pages, so I'm putting you guys on. Now, anyways, hopefully the purpose of this video is to show you the importance of not gem pages, of landing pages. Now in the next two videos I'm going to show you specifically, we're going to dive deeper into listicles and dive deeper into advertorials, and I'm going to actually show you kind of like breaking it down more step by step. That'll be a bit more educational and actually understanding how listicles and how advertorials are actually built out. But yeah, bro, we'll save that for the next video. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.